Now thank we all our God with hearts and hands and voices. It's one of my favorite Thanksgiving hymns. And I'm going to tell you more about the story, but first I just want to say that I know that the last week has been really hard for a lot of us, really the last two. And I imagine that most of us have had to make or get phone calls or make or receive emails that involve changing Thanksgiving plans because of COVID and everything else. And I just get the sense that a lot of people this Thanksgiving come with a bit of a heavier heart, or at the very least more exhaustion from having to juggle and figure things out. And so as we approach Thanksgiving, I do want to share with you this story of how the hymn Now Thank We All Our God came about. It was actually written in the 30 Years' War. And the 30 Years' War in the early part of the 1600s devastated Central Europe. In fact, 25% of the people died in the first 10 years of the war, but it lingered on, and there were then multiple just refugees and famine and plague. And in fact, the pastor who wrote Now Thank We All Our God, he wrote it about 20 years into the 30 Years' War. The year after he wrote it, he would bury 4,000 people, 4,000 funerals in 1 year. And so what was going on? Well, somehow the community there, the pastor, they still knew that in spite of all of the challenges and obstacles and setbacks and even death, that they could thank God. My hope is that as we go through yet another holiday that's impacted by the virus and by everything, that we can still find pause to give thanks and praise to our God. Still find a way to bless others around us. In fact, I know that the community meal, if this is something you're comfortable with, are still looking for some volunteers to help. So it's maybe not the ideal Thanksgiving, but nonetheless, it is our duty and our calling and our joy to pause and to give God praise.